Hello and welcome to this weather update. It is July 21st, 2019, almost 8 p.m. in our area. So let's take a look at the high temperatures today that were encountered across our area. And let me tell you, it was absolutely the worst day we've had in a long time. So no relief anywhere, not even Montauk. They hit 97 too. So we'll work our way from east to west. Montauk got up to 97. West Hampton, 97. Brookhaven Airport, 97. Islip, 99, almost 100 degrees. Farmingdale, 96 degrees. 99 at JFK. 100 degrees at LaGuardia. 95 at White Plains. 95 at Central Park. 99 at Teterboro. 98 at Somerville. 99 at Belmar Farmingdale. And, of course, guess who gets the award for the hottest place once again? You got it. It's Toms River, and at 101 degrees. So Toms River was the hottest spot today in our area. Not surprisingly, it's always the hottest spot, it seems. So let's go and look at what's going on with current observations across our area. We're going to first look at Farmingdale and show you what's going on Long Island. 92. It is still 92 at Farmingdale. The dew point is 71. Heat index 99 degrees. And at Islip, not much better. 88 and the dew point up to so the dew point is 78 at Islip. These are extremely high dew points, and that's what sets this kind of heat apart. We've had hot weather like this. I remember hot weather like this in the past occasionally, but never with such high dew points. So I want to just make this larger so you can see. If you can't see it, 78 degree dew point. I might as well actually keep this at the large size so we can show you these dew points, because it's absolutely crazy. So 88 with a dew point of 78 at Islip right now. And it's not much better out east. And let's now look at the city. Let's see what Central Park is right now. So they are at 91 degrees, but the dew point is 72, so that's not too bad. What about JFK? It's actually hotter at JFK Airport, I think. Let's see what JFK has. So this is LaGuardia, 88, a dew point 73, but let's see what JFK is, because it's really there. So it's 94. It's still 94 at JFK at this hour, almost 8 o'clock. It was the last observation. 94 degrees at JFK Airport. So that's crazy. That is crazy. Let me just get this size back to the way it should be. So now we have to look at the radar and see. We do have some showers and thunderstorms around out there. Nothing heavy, and there's something that's falling apart over our area, something that's left over that really produced a really spectacular sunset, which I'll share with you in another video. Still some severe activity in eastern Pennsylvania, but for the most part, I think things are dying down. But again, with this heat around through the night, anything could still be triggered. So we're not done yet. We got to see what it's like in Toms River. So it's 91 degrees. Oh, look at this again. Let me make this larger for you. So here are the conditions in Toms River. Toms River really just gets the worst of it. 91 degrees still at Toms River, but look at the dew point. 79, almost 80 degrees. That means it feels like 108 in Toms River right now. And just to show you what it hit in Toms River, we're going to show you again what it hit. What it hit today in Toms River. We'll make this larger too. So show you here. 101 in Toms River. This is the worst spot. And again, with these dew points, looks like there was an 80 degree dew point right there. Yep. There you go. Right there. 94, 80 degree dew point. Feels like 114. And they were at 100 degrees for about 4 hours this afternoon in Toms River. So Toms River just got the absolute worst of it. I really don't know how anyone can survive there. I just don't understand it. At least you gotta have a car, because you can't be out walking around in this weather if you live in Toms River. There's absolutely no way that you can deal with these conditions. There's no way. And there are a lot of senior citizens that live over there, and I worry about them. A lot of seniors live there because a lot of actually seniors moved there from Long Island because there's a lot of cheap housing that was built for seniors. Holiday City in particular, that's west of Toms River. We should have had something like that put on Long Island, but obviously we don't. So Belmar Farmingdale 91, Dew point 78. So in these conditions in Jersey, you just got to stay in the air conditioning. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Let's look at the Wonder Map now and see what we have going on. If we can zoom this in, that would be nice. Alright, it's not working. Let's try it this way. There we go. My computer being its usual self. So, temperatures across the area, we need to get a little larger. So, we have mid-80s, mid-upper 80s mostly along Long Island. Out east, it's a little cooler. North Shore, closer to 90. There was some showers and thunderstorms over northern Jersey, so when you're looking at this map, you'll see it's much cooler over in northwestern New Jersey with 70s, where it rained. But for the most part, we still have near 90 degrees in Jersey, so they're holding on to the heat. No sea breeze at the shore either. 91 degrees, even at seaside heights. No sea breeze. At our beaches, barely a sea breeze. We do have something, though. It's 82 at Jones Beach, so there is something. But combining with these dew points, and you see here the dew points we're dealing with. Dew points upper 70s. Upper 70s. But you can see it looks like there's some drier air over New Jersey. And this probably, again, was from those thunderstorms and a front that's trying to come through. And then as we go into Toms River, again, upper 70s dew points. Absolutely stifling out there. Not the kind of conditions you want to be outside in. You got to stay inside. That's the bottom line. So you better stay inside and hope your air conditioning works. So here are the amount of power outages on Long Island. It's 3,373. Just scattered small outages for the most part. No large outages. Most of these outages are caused by transformers blowing. They usually knock out. They can knock out about. Let's see how big this one is here. They usually knock out about 100 to 200 customers. Estimated restoration won't be until 2:15 a.m. for that outage I just clicked on. I noticed it's taken a while for them to restore these outages, and people are being left without power for a long time, which is completely unacceptable. I'm not sure why that is. It probably has to do with the transformer, needs replacing, and that takes time to put in and set up. I'm thinking that's what it is. So let's now look at JCP&L and see what's going on for them. We'll also look at Con Edison as well. So JCP&L is doing worse. 7,259 customers without power, and you definitely don't want to. The good news is it looks like there aren't too many outages around Toms River, but there is one over here that is in this area, 100 to 500 customers, and that has it's saying severe weather is causing power outages. There was no thunderstorm there. It's just the heat that's causing these outages. That outage was there since the afternoon, so again, it's taking time to fix these outages because it's transformers that are blowing, and it takes time. And they probably aren't short supply. These transformers is another one that's 150 customers. It looks like the Toms River area is not being hit as much. Let's see where the majority of these outages are in JCP&L's territory. So it looks like most of them are in Monmouth and Ocean, but Somerset County too, 3,820. So there was a thunderstorm over there. I think that probably has something to do with that. Let's go to Con Edison now and check Con Edison and see how they are doing with the outage situation. They have, 46,136 people without power. There must be a major power outage somewhere in Con Edison's territory. I'm not sure where it is. If it's in Staten Island or might be Queens. I'm seeing a lot of outages in Queens, it looks like. So I just see mostly smaller ones. Here's a larger one here. That's a lot of people. It might be in Westchester. I'm not sure because trying to figure out where these numbers are. So there's a big outage somewhere in Con Edison's territory. Maybe it's not in New York City. Maybe it's Westchester County. I don't see any outages in Manhattan. There's a large 23 one over here. So I don't know if these are just a bunch of small outages or there are a couple of large outages. I'm not sure. It looks like this area, Queens, might have a blackout. I'm not sure. These are just individual outages. Con Ed's map works differently. Let's look at Westchester and see. Maybe they got hit harder. I'm trying to look. Let's pull out this map a little bit and see. Maybe it's Westchester that has a big outage, because that's a lot of people. 46,136 is a lot of people to have out of power. There's got to be a large outage somewhere going on in Con Edison's territory. Okay, so I'm trying to find out where this is, and it looks like Brooklyn has a large outage. So there's a blackout in Flatbush. That's what it looks like. And I just put on the WLNY News at 10, and they didn't even lead off with the weather. They didn't even lead off with the weather. I couldn't believe it. So 34,314, a blackout in Flatbush. And nobody seems to care. So there's a blackout in Flatbush, and then the other borough that seems to be impacted a lot is Queens. So let's see what's going on there. If there's any, looks like there's a lot of power problems in Jamaica. So that's what's going on in the city, because again, it's very hot there, and they have the underground wiring, which is. Let's go back to the Con Edison map now. Well, it looks like there was a story right there. So within 45 and surrounding area, so at least PIX has reported on it. Con Ed turning off power for 30,000 customers. So there must be something going on. Let me just click this and figure out what's going on here. 30,000 customers deal with power outages temporarily, so it can make repairs for the thousands dealing with outages. Okay, so 34,000 people without power right now in Brooklyn right now. That seems to be the area that's being hit the hardest right now. So we'll go back to the outage map and find this outage in Brooklyn now. So it's not in Westchester, it's in Brooklyn. I had a feeling it was the city, because this Con Ed is just having problems in this weather. You know, this puts an extreme out. So it's Flatbush, this area right here, that seems to be impacted right here. So Flatbush, this whole area, and it might even be impacting the subways. Who knows? So that's a 613 outage, customer outage. Yeah, this is all. It's this whole area here, 634 area outage. Yep, this whole area. So it's going into Canarsie too. Building outage, 525 building outage. So yeah, Brooklyn is being hit very hard by power outages right now, very hard. So yeah, this is bad. And this is the impact that the weather is putting on our power grid, and the infrastructure in New York City is very old. But there you go, 46,136 people without power, mostly in Brooklyn, in Flatbush, and in this area right here. So that is very disturbing. They've got to get that fixed immediately. I cannot believe CBS did not lead off with that. I cannot believe it. So let's look at the Ventus sky and look at the temperatures across our area. Now you can see westerly winds, no sea breeze, and I want to look at the radar. So not much going on right now, but if we go back by a little bit, you can see there was some storms over New Jersey that tried to move into our area, but you can see it kind of just fell apart. So they kind of just fell apart, and it looked like a cell went around Perth Amboy there, and then just boop, broke apart like that. You would think, when we look at the Cape, there's a lot of Cape in the atmosphere. Look at these very high numbers. You would think that you'd be able to get some thunderstorms, but the problem is, if we go and I think if we looked at the lifted index, it's not very high. No, it is high too, so that's not the issue. But we're just not getting it. We're not getting it because there's a cap on the atmosphere that's keeping the storms from developing. But that is going to change. So let's look at the models now and see what is going to be happening as we head into tonight and tomorrow, because we do have risks for severe weather as this front comes through. And I'm actually going to start off looking at the dew point here on the GFS to show you the front as it's coming through, so you can understand what's going on. So we're looking right now at the GFS, and you can see some drier air trying to get into our area tomorrow. It will be less humid tomorrow, and it will be cooler. It won't be great, but it'll be a lot better than it was today. But you can see the story that we have this front stalled out over our area, and then Tuesday that front slowly starts moving offshore, and then Wednesday it gets a little bit more of a push. And then Thursday, we will finally dry this out. Finally get this front offshore, hopefully. But it's going to take time to beat this ridge down. And that's the problem. So look at the temperatures for tomorrow. You will see a lot cooler. Maybe some 90s still in Jersey hanging on. Probably Tom's River is going to hit 90, but for us, mid and upper 80s. And so we'll feel a lot better. And then Tuesday, look at that. Very cool. Probably because we're going to have some rain showers around on Tuesday. Wednesday, we come back up again, upper 70s, low 80s. Thursday, we're low to mid 80s. So, again, it looks decent, and we just have an improvement after that. So, the main thing is the thunderstorm. So, let's go to the NAM and look at see what the NAM is saying as regards to. First, I want to look at the temperature on the NAM so we can get an idea of where it puts this front and the dew point as well. And then we'll look at the simulated radar. And it's just a model's guess as to where thunderstorms are going to pop up. You could see that dry air try to sink in, but it's just going to take time to push that front offshore. But it will happen. So now let's shift over to the radar and see where these storms could wind up firing. So as we look into tonight, not really anything going on. We had very scattered activity, and for much of the day tomorrow, I think it'll be very scattered. But as you can see, the NAM is developing some stuff that's going to roll in probably around between 6 and 10 o'clock tomorrow night. And some of these storms could be heavy and severe. And then we're going to have that rain that's going to be hanging around a little bit on the first part of Tuesday morning, maybe some showers and storms, less toward the afternoon. That is the NAM's opinion of this. And if we look at the NAM and the amount of rainfall, it brings us, you'll see some areas could get a lot. They could get over 2 inches. Other areas might get an inch or less of rain. So it's a hit or miss depending on where the showers and thunderstorms develop. That's the NAM. So now let's look at another model called the HRRR, and we'll look at the 20th because that doesn't go out far enough. So this is the HRRR. This only goes out to 17Z Monday. And you can see here it looks like it forms one over eastern Long Island and another one over there. Let's look at the HDRPS model. This goes a little further out. Let's see how much rain that does. So it's a similar thing, scattered in nature with the rain. So we're going to put this back to the its best guess as to the radar, and you can see it really this is the time when we could get hit hard, and that's the area time I'm concerned about. Anywhere from 6 to 10 or 11 p.m. Probably 6 to 10 p.m. We could see some severe thunderstorms across. You could see this model here, the HDRPS, has a purple area over Long Island, which could be a heavy thunderstorm, and we're going to have to be careful of that. And the main effect that these storms will produce is heavy rain, which will bring flash flooding. But it could be strong winds. There could be, there's going to be lightning, and there could always be just the outside chance that there could be a tornado, even though that's not being predicted. Any strong thunderstorm, severe thunderstorm, is capable of producing a tornado. So we'll have to keep that in mind. And then that moves on out as we. That's the HDRPS. We'll look at the RGEM model as well. Let's see how the RGEM handles it. So again, similar thing. It's that 6 to 10 p.m. time frame tomorrow night that we're going to have to watch for. Then after that, I think this seems to push the front off a little more. So now we'll look at the clouds and see if we can get these clouds out of here. So this is the you can see the stalled front here. It kind of shows up real nice. You can see it's just taking it's going to take time to break down that ridge, unfortunately. Let's go to the GFS. See the same thing. There's your stalled front. We try to get it east of the area Wednesday. Doesn't quite happen. I think Thursday it's more likely to happen to Friday, but it could still linger nearby. This is the GFS again, which wants to move the front more slowly than the Euro, which we will look at in a little bit. So we'll have to keep an eye on this front and see exactly what happens with this front, because it's gonna take its sweet time. And we'll look at the total accumulated precip on this, and you can see the NAM not as high of a resolution. The NAM really does give us a lot of rain, so the NAM really is the slower bunch, and that seems to give most everywhere at least over an inch of rain. Some areas 2 inches or more of rain. So again, it's slower the front, the more rain that will accumulate from this. All right, and just for we'll look at the Canadian as well. We'll put this back to the sky, and we'll see if the Canadian can get this front offshore, and it looks like it tries to. It's a little further east, and then maybe we can get it offshore by Thursday. Maybe. We'll have to see what happens. So now let's go to windy.com, and let's now look at the euro, because I have to use the windy for the look at the euro, some of the parameters, because this has the euro on it. So we're going to pull this a little closer to our area and see if we can show the euro as we go into tomorrow. So Monday, let's see if the euro brings a. Let's see how much rain the euro. So the euro seems to not be quite as intense with the storms, or maybe it holds them off a little more. Let's see. Holds them off a little more. So the euro is slow with the storms. Has the more of the severe weather Monday morning. I meant Tuesday morning, not Monday night. That's interesting. So we'll now look at the clouds. See if the euro can get this front offshore. So Wednesday, it does get it offshore. Yeah, it does get it offshore. So it gets it more offshore for Wednesday. But Thursday, whether those days will be clear or not, I don't know. That's going to be hard to. Oh, it only goes up to there. No, it goes out a little. We'll have to see if those days will be clear or not. It's really hard to tell. But if we go back to tropical tidbits, and we can go to the euro model here and look at the upper air. Let's go to the upper air. CONUS view, upper air, and I'll just show you that difference again with the upper air. So the euro seems to want to be a little more like the GFS and have a deeper trough and kind of hold it back a little, which stalls the front out because of the parallel wind flow. All right, and this is the euro. That's the GFS. GFS still looks different though, the isobars, but we're going to be unfortunately dealing with this front that's going to hang up and keep clouds in the area instead of getting nice clear skies. But the main thing is the heat will be gone. So that's one thing we know for sure, is the heat will be gone. There won't be any more of this stifling heat and stifling humidity. It ends tomorrow. So that does wrap up this weather update. I want to thank you for watching, and I really pray for the folks without power right now, especially in the city, because it's really brutal. So the excessive heat warning continues, but it will be over really soon. Now we have this air quality alert in effect. One more look at the radar before I wrap up this weather update. Oh, looks like something just popped over here. All right, let me go to Ventu Sky. Looks like a cell just popped right over the middle of Long Island right there. It's like east of Hicksville. So let's go right now to the radar and get that, and see if we can get that current cell here. So let me just refresh Ventu Sky. See if it shows up. It doesn't even oh, there it is. So it's right over, it looks like it's right over, yeah, it's northeast of Farmingdale, Dix Hills, heading toward Deer Park. Not a severe storm, but it probably is a pretty good downpour, but it won't last very long. But it'll bring a little temporary relief from the heat tonight. Anyway, that does wrap up this weather update. Take care, and thank you for watching.